Welcome to Google Developers Weekly for September 9th, 2013. I'm Louis Gray, and this is our highlight reel of what's happening in the world of Google developers on the set and off. This week in our GDL studios was another big one internationally, and also another big one for our Root Access series. Martin Omander and Don Dodge returned to our set for two separate episodes. First, to encourage startups to stop finding excuses and break down barriers to make their ideas successful. And later, touching on the hot trend of indoor location services, which is great news for parents just like me, who have to know exactly where to find bathrooms when we take our kids to the mall. Startups also find their start in places well beyond Silicon Valley, of course. From Berlin, Martin Gorner invited Nacho Coloma, author of SimpleDS and CTO of Coliseo, to help you make an informed decision between SQL and NoSQL. Coliseo, a ticketing platform built on App Engine, scales its offering to meet peak demands, and Nacho wants you to do the same. From Milan, Italy, Google developers expert Sandro Paganotti demonstrated two key features of HTML5, the template and shadow DOM. As we often say here at the Googleplex when talking about the shadow DOM, there really is no better way to teach your browser to include a subtree of DOM elements. Moving from DOMs to documents and from Milan to the Big Apple in New York City, Ibrahim Ulukaya told those of us who work on the YouTube API the best way to get help and find documents to make our code even better. As you can imagine, beyond the documents, what I need, tips for my apps to get smart, I turn to GDL and YouTube. From Buenos Aires, Nick Bortolotti hosted developers on the Google Maps team who presented how you can connect people to places using the Places API. Nick speaks quickly, but he means every single word. And finally, from our Tokyo studio, Eiji Kitamura discussed the Web Audio API, which enables Chrome to process and synthesize sound. Outside of our GDL studios, the big news in both Android and Candy worlds this week was the announcement of KitKat as the name of our next version of Android. In news with more substance and less chocolate, we announced that Android has passed 1 billion activations worldwide. Speaking of big numbers, coders love a good challenge, and we have a great one for you. The Google Cloud Platform Developer Challenge is looking for people to build locally relevant web applications that solve real-world problems. And what's a challenge without some prizes? This one has cash awards, so check it out. Speaking of the cloud, this week we launched Pearson Correlation, a new feature in BigQuery, enabling you to compare data and look for insights that you might not be able to see otherwise. Correlation also allows you to test assumptions that you might think be right, but you want to see data to back you up. Your intuition plus BigQuery correlation makes a powerful team. Now that you're exploring BigQuery, be sure to tune in later today and watch Michael Manucheri and Felipe Hoffa discuss BigQuery correlation and how you can use it to help predict your future. Our data predicts another great week here on Google Developers Live. To make sure that you never miss a thing from the world of Google developers, subscribe to Google Developers on YouTube and check out the GDL schedule at developers.google.com/live. I'm Louis Gray, and I'll see you in the studio.